This is a quick walk through the Golden's Gardens. It's the 22nd of April 2019, and we're pretty much at high peak for a lot of our favorite flowers. We're in the back turnaround area by the garage, and walking my way through. This is a great little plant. This is the mimulus, very little charming little plant that usually is in sunnier colors, but this pinky red one was one we thought we'd try. Moving along, going past some of the roses we bought over the course of the years. This is Twilight Zone, which is a great rose, really fragrant, and it's one of the roses we got at the Huntington Garden plant sale. Another one coming up this Friday, if you can make it out. Working my way slowly down through the yard, coming down to one of our favorite trees. This is the Acacia purpurea. It's beautiful, covered with yellow blooms in early spring, and now it's in its seed pods and growth stages. You can see the tips of the new growth is that purplish color, which gives it its name. Coming on down into the side bed that's between us and the Charter family. This is a beautiful Christmas gift, amaryllis in the ground. Coming closer to the epiphyllum, to end all epiphyllums. This is a plant that Arlene got. I think she got it actually out at the Veterans Plants Sale, the therapeutic horticulture group in West LA. And it has grown and grown, and it is now in full bloom. Perhaps 150 blossoms on this one gigantic plant, and it just sits out here and thrives and loves it. Coming past, we're going past nice big red amaryllis that we got at Lincoln Nurseries here in Pasadena area. Coming past, here's a plant that's in a pot. We really like this plant for its attractiveness to bees and hummingbirds. This is a cestrum. I'm now heading into the rear garden and working my way back underneath our avocado tree, which, as you can see, drops its leaves not in the fall, but in the spring when the new growth pushes them off. Turning back, looking back toward the house here for a moment, you can see the arch that enters the garden from the turnaround area, and that was in gigantically rich combination of blooms of jasmine and wisteria a couple of weeks ago. And now that's moved on to its quieter phase, but it's still very nice. In the garden now, heading into the back, these are our raised boxes, and we've just swapped out the first one for some seasonal cutting flowers, and working my way back here now to what's a giant pot of sweet peas that will soon begin to bloom all over the place. And right here is what we call the arch bed, and this is also going to be a planting bed for primarily for cutting. We just kind of renovated that the other day. And next to it, thanks to a half a dozen bachelor buttons that we had grow up on the edge of that bed last year, we have volunteer plants now in the stones of our garden. And you can see pretty clearly that you get a lot of bachelor buttons out of one or two volunteers. These are going to be here forever now. Similarly, moving underneath our beautiful little grapefruit tree, we have lots of nigella coming to bloom, and these nigellas are white now, but then there are going to be some blue ones, I think, up at the edge. And these are all from seeds that we collected at the Arboretum. Moving along here, along the edge of the grapefruit bed, let's go like that. You can see another sturdy plant from South Africa, Australia actually. This is the Callistemon Little John, and it's got a nice red blossoms, and you can see that there's lots of pollen on the ends of those, and everybody loves that baby. And coming around the back of our raised bed, circling around, you can see a pretty extensive array of cal poppies. They're going to be here forever, and you can cut them down and get a second inflorescence if you remember to, in the summertime around here at least. But it's a great color, and we try to save the seeds of the specialty ones. Here's a nice soft outside pinky to yellow in the middle. Coming around the back of the bed here, you can see the Mexican sage, and you can also see a proliferation of pearly blue bush, an Australian plant that we just can't resist. Every time we see it, we buy it, and it's hard to find. And it's got a nice bluish cast to it. And next to it is a phlomis. Arlene said, we should get a phlomis. And I said, I don't want a phlomis. I don't like the plant. Well, as is always the case, I was wrong. And look at this one plant now. It's really taken hold on the top of this raised border. Or let's get the raised mound right. Got to get the nomenclature right. Over here, as I swing into the shade, this is the pride of Madeira. It's 8 feet tall. It's absolutely loved by the bees. It's about 10 feet from a large beehive in the corner of our garden. And these guys are in this all the time, diving through and really enjoying it. And we love this plant, and we love the variegated version, which is what we have. You'll see it in green also, plain green. But any time we can find variegation, we grab it. And now right next to it on purpose is the surviving flannel bush, probably my single favorite California native. This is a terrific shrub. It's got hairy leaves, that's why they call it the flannel bush. Fremontodendron, I think, is its Latin name. And look at those yellow blooms. I mean, isn't that a terrific? Kind of looks like Hypericum, if you know St. John's wort. But it's beautiful and seasonal and terrific. And working my way around here into the side border, we've got a couple of yellow oleanders taking hold, and next to them we've got 3 small rock roses that have now become one big rock rose. And that's the story of that particular group. Here's another giant euphorbia, fire stick, of which we've cut large chunks off and given away and everything else. And now here the breath of heaven, which there were 2. One couldn't do well, and one is obviously thriving. And moving around to the front to give you a long look down this border. This is the raised bed. Dudley is in the front here with their great bloom stalks. Lots of great sturdy little lantanas. You can see the white sage in the distance. And here's a long shot of the grapefruit bed. So that's the back garden. And the back garden is looking great. We'll swing around here. We've got more sages of different kinds. Tacomas. Cassia, which has a great yellow blossom and is also the home for a cloudless sulfur butterfly larva. So they'll lay on this, and then we'll get cocoons. And we also got tons of monarchs who stay on the Asclepias, and basically occasionally we'll discover the bright green chrysalis. And now I'm swinging around and giving you just kind of a side look at the plants that are along the garage. We divided up a couple of overgrown ruelias. They call that Mexican sunflower, but that's not the right name. So we got 4 great ruelias there. And moving along the garage, large yesterday, today, and tomorrow plant, just beginning. You can see up here this one nice purpley bloom, and as it gets older, it starts to fade to white, pale purple, and then white, hence the name yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Here's our fountain bubbling away, and one of the things that keeps the birds coming. And working my way through the arch, finishing this little tour, and we think this is one of our best gardens ever. Just pots of everything wherever we can put them. There's a great starry night petunia that really is quite charming. One of them, the big one on the left here, made it through the winter, and we just put a couple more in just to give ourselves a look. And more roses. Double Delight, terrific fragrance on that. And Angel Face, which has great fragrance. Physically, the flower is not as interesting to us, but boy, you can't beat that smell. Old-fashioned rose smell. So that's the story. And one more look at this charming little mimulus, because, well, it's a great-looking plant. And again, it's they call it the monkey flower, but we try to use the Latin name just because there's so many things that are called the same things. And that's really the story here. Down here, Scaevola. Scaevola's great. Terrific. And hope you enjoyed it.